Hey everyone, we are live. Just playing with Omar. Come on, guys, take it easy on Omar. He was late by what, 12 seconds? It's
I'm
it's
like,
okay.
last I checked, it was 12 o'clock when I showed up.
Oh, see, okay. Well, there was a cheap shot on my end. Bad poop, bad poop. Uh, hey guys and gals,
Hold on.
Saturday, December 16th, 2023. Our live preview of the Dolphins' Week 15 game against the New York Jets. A game that all of a sudden is a little bit worrisome and so big in the playoff picture for the Dolphins.
And you guys see
Before,
my flyaways? Like, this is really getting embarrassing. Go ahead.
before we start, and I'm going to repeat this again, there are a lot more people who like this feature that we do, the little looking back and the shout out to the jersey number. A lot more people who like it than don't. If the ratio goes the other way, we'll stop doing it. Uh,
Yam says I'm getting hit with a late fine. I showed up on time, man.
Remember Brian Flores saying, if you're early, you're on time. If you're on time, you're late.
You're
And if
right.
you're late, you're forgotten. So here we
Screw
go.
Brian Flores.
64, I'm going to give a shout out to a former defensive tackle who the Dolphins signed as a free agent in 2002, who I'll have to admit, and I know players around the league. Didn't know a whole lot about him. And he showed up in camp, and I'm like, man, that guy's built like a fridge. And started 2 years for the Dolphins, got hurt in the second game of the 2004 season, and the run defense, which had been fifth in his 2 years as a starter, went to 31st.
Jamie Nails?
And Jamie Nails was an offensive lineman. Come on, Omar.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm not paying attention.
It wasn't complete coincidence. I am talking about Larry Chester.
Oh,
That dude was a run stopper. And to be fair, the Dolphins, one of the reasons they were 31st in run defense in 2004 is because their offense sucked so bad. This was the year Ricky bailed out on the team in training camp. They bounced between A.J. Feely and Jay Fiedler at quarterback. So teams just ran the ball knowing that the Dolphin offense couldn't hurt them. And they had success once Larry Chester left. But in his 2 seasons in 2002 and 2003, the dude started every game and he balled out. Absolute hat tip to Larry Chester.
All right, Larry Chester. Let's rock and roll. You know what? Somebody said that we should experiment. We used to do these openings and closings, and then it like completely just absolutely wiped away our profitability.
Yeah.
And so we went just bare minimum. And thank you guys for continuing to support us, even though this has been a relatively bad week. We're asking that you guys go check out the episodes, the Behind Enemy Lines. I know you were hurt. I know they hurt your feelings. I know you're struggling with what's going on with the team right now. The offensive line is in a crisis. You're begging for Liam Eichenberg when a month ago you were like, please keep him off my line. And Devon Achane is hurt. Tyreek Hill is hurt. We get it. It's a panic state. You're hurt, but we still need your support. We still need our viewership. We still need you to watch our episodes. At least give it a play. We thank you for those who continue to support us. But man, has this week been rough? We're like, goodness gracious, are you guys fair weather fans? The team struggles a little bit. You go ghost on them?
Not the people who are watching right now. Those who are like coming, just come in when the going's good. Quickly, OG Highway, because we love OG Highway. Travis Minor was one of the many backs they used in 2004. They actually traded a third-round pick to the Rams once Ricky Williams left for Lamar Gordon, who didn't pan out, got hurt, and then they used a bunch of guys, including Sammy Morris.
Did you know I covered Travis Minor when he was at Florida State?
Yep.
When he was supposed to be the next Warrick Dunn, and he was nothing ever close to Warrick Dunn. Nice productive back, but I would argue to those who actually know their Florida State history, he wasn't nearly as good as Davey Ford, who got injured, suffered an ACL, and then really never got his career back on track. Maybe if they had the transfer portal back in those days, he probably would have went somewhere and turned into something pretty good. He was like a Palm Bay or Palm Beach back that was by far better than Travis Minor. But Travis Minor had a decent career and made it to the NFL. He just wasn't a very good player.
No. Nope, he wasn't. I think they wound up trading him to the Eagles. Anyway, and it's interesting that I bring back this idea of 2004 and teams running against the Dolphins because opponents didn't fear their offense. Well, that's kind of what was going on with the New York Jets earlier in the season. Now, lo and behold, apparently Zach Wilson has rediscovered how to play football, and well, it's well, correct. That's the question. That is the question. But as I said before, to me, I'm a lot more nervous about this game than I was after the Black Friday game when it was like Jets in week 15.
Yeah. I used to give you a lecture about anybody can get you on any given Sunday or Monday or Thursday or Friday. And
not Tuesday or Wednesday.
Then somebody got you.
But it took an extraordinary set of circumstances. And yes, I always understood that. And I always said that. That doesn't mean it's impossible, but it takes, again, could anything more have gone wrong in those final 4 minutes?
You know what? I actually want to propose this idea to you because I've been thinking about it, but have not said it on these social media streets for the entire, oh my goodness gracious. Sorry. Yes, I use the word goodness gracious. I say goodness gracious. And then one day my daughter says goodness gracious. And we were in the house and we're like, where did she get that word from? I don't say that. I don't say that. Then I've caught myself saying goodness gracious one time. Let me propose this to you. If Miami didn't get that punt fumble return, punt recovery, then didn't get the fumble on a bad pitch. Would that game have been? I mean, they were being outplayed by Tennessee.
Oh, absolutely.
So we can sit here and say, oh, they had a 14-point lead and they squandered it, which are all facts. But like Tennessee had gift wrapped them 14 points. They hadn't really earned it, and they hadn't really done anything all game. And they
No, that's fair.
And so then Tennessee actually turned it on, and the Dolphins defense couldn't stop them. And even though Vic Fangio said, that was just something that we didn't expect because we've been pretty good in our closeout game defense all season, and we've been good in the 4-minute offense all season. Well, okay, both didn't show up, and ultimately it led to an embarrassing loss. But I would argue to you that Tennessee had outplayed them all game.
I don't disagree with you. No, and the only Dolphin touchdown even before that was on the pick six. So no, I don't disagree with that. And it was, and maybe I didn't phrase it correctly, that it was a case of the Dolphins looked like crap the whole night, if we're going to be honest. Injuries obviously being a factor, and they were on the verge of getting away with it comfortably, no less. And then
stealing one.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, for example, the Dolphins didn't look great against the Raiders. And I don't want to say they stole one or they got away with one, but kind of, sort of. And in Tennessee, look like they're going to do it again. But no, let's acknowledge our friend Patrick here. Thank you very much, Patrick. Love you guys and all you do. Tough question. Why can't this team have a 2-minute drill where the QB calls plays at the line and hurry up and move the ball down the field? Scheme, philosophy, QB capability, all three. Omar.
I think they can run a 2-minute offense. I've seen Tua run a 2-minute offense. He does that quite well in practice and training camp. At the end of the halves, that's why Mike McDaniel is usually ultra aggressive. You give him 50 seconds, he's going to try to score a touchdown. That's a strength of Tua's. Could it be a strength with 4 offensive linemen down? No. Could it be a strength with Tyreek Hill sidelined? Probably not. Would it help if Devon Achane was on the field and not battling a toe injury? I'm sure it would. But, expecting perfection, and this is something that I'm a little bit uncomfortable with because, like everybody else, and probably even more so than Alan Poupard, I have put Tua's feet to the fire on the Eagles' loss, that interception in scoring territory with the game on the line. That's on him. Elite quarterbacks don't throw an interception in those situations. I have put the Kansas City loss at his feet. You know, you fumbled the ball and missed 2 open wide receivers with the game on the line, putting your team in position to win the game. I have, you know, the Titans loss, I feel a little bit more challenged to say that, oh, you should have done it, because you did have like 147. You did have a series of plays. All you need to do is get them in field goal territory. Elite quarterbacks make that drive. Like, you're telling me if Tom Brady's got the ball, if Patrick Mahomes has the ball, if Josh Allen has the ball, and you give them 147, no timeouts, all they got to do is get you 3. You're shaking in your boots about what's potentially going to happen. It don't matter what defense that you're facing. Correct. I can acknowledge that Tua is not there yet. Will he get there this season? I don't know. Do I believe that he has the potential to be that player? Absolutely. Would I feel a lot more confident if they had a semblance? Give me a healthy Teron Armstead and a healthy Robert Hunt, and then a healthy Liam Eichenberg and Tyreek, even at 70%. I'll be confident about him doing what is needed to show that he can be an elite quarterback. But right now, with a center he's practiced with for all of one day, with a 70% Teron Armstead, with Robert Jones in the starting lineup, with Tyreek, a mystery whether or not he plays, and even if he does play, he's going to be gimping around, or serving as a decoy. Without Devon Achane, even though he's kind of cooled off recently, do I feel confident that he can be that quarterback right now, this minute? I don't know.
So what again? And you know, in our pre-show production meeting, if you want to call it that, I said,
"Hey, I did threaten you. I will
go for it. But if we're thinking about, if some are thinking about giving QB1 a $50 million a year contract because he's elite, these are the occasions. And hold on, let me finish. Point that needs to be made. We cannot be a prisoner of the moment because it didn't happen against Tennessee in what was an absolutely butt-ugly final drive, because, again, there are too many completions down the middle of the field for 5 or 6 yards. You can't have those in a 2-minute drill with no timeouts. If there's not a single wide receiver open, you're better off chucking that ball out of bounds than doing a check down for 5 yards in the middle of the field. That's number one. So in terms of the quarterbacks, it's the totality, always the totality of the evidence. Okay, because and you made a great point too. That 2-minute drill is not the end of the game. The Dolphins have absolutely killed it in 2-minute drills at the end of the half. Unless off the top of my head, I haven't even looked at the numbers. I think they've been very good at those. And we can look at the Chargers game early in the season. That wasn't 2 minutes technically, but it was kind of a game-winning, game-losing situation, and the Dolphins got a touchdown. Again, and against KC, didn't happen. They were 2 plays. Again, the confusion with Cedric Wilson, I'm still not 100% sure. Is it completely on Tua? Is it on Wilson? Is it miscommunication? I'm still a little foggy on that, and nobody's ever going to tell us for sure.
Tua's going to say it's him.
So what? Nobody's going to say that. Tua's going to say, of course, Tua's going to say.
Tua's going to say it's him.
That's what he does. So, but again, I don't want to already prepare the excuses. Don't count on it, gang, because the Dolphins are shorthanded. Again, if your QB1 is elite, or is going to be elite in his 4th season as somebody who is of Jamaican descent or born in Jamaica, wears dreads and has a beard with initials OK, has said all along, then time to step up, partner.
I don't disagree with you, but you always keep bringing up the money. You're going to give him the money no matter what, because you are, and because you have no choice, because you have no alternative.
Yes, the alternative is you sit on his contract for the next 2 years, and don't tell me quarterbacks don't become available ever. So there might not be a better alternative for 2024. Don't tell me that can't happen in the offseason.
They love him. They love him. They do.
Then there's a difference between should and will.
Okay, maybe they play hardball with him like they did Christian Wilkins, and it also ultimately blows up in their face like it did Christian Wilkins. You don't have to do the $200 million deal now. You can technically make him play on the 5th-year option. What is it, $23 million?
$23 million, and then you have the franchise tag the following year.
Yeah,
So
I'm not dragging. I mean, you make a respectable offer, which, in my opinion, a respectable offer. If Justin Herbert got it, Tua should get it, because Herbert ain't doing nothing but getting his coach fired. So
it's his fault. It's funny though.
It's never his fault. It's never his fault.
No, but
it's always never his fault.
My man, that's something that I've heard in South Florida too. It's never Herbert's fault, and it's never Tua's fault. By the way, this is not me talking. This is not me. Look all around the national media, and invariably, it's basically the Chargers are a shit show, but they have an elite franchise quarterback, so it's an attractive place. That's not me saying that.
They have a franchise quarterback. He is not elite. Stop that.
Okay.
Stop.
Okay. Go ahead.
Stop. He is not elite. Where has he proven he is elite? Not in college, not in the NFL.
We've already gone through this. Go ahead.
Elite traits, not elite.
We've already gone through this. He has rookie record. He has rookie records. He has the most passing. Hold on. Again, I can't make an. I make an argument and you poo-poo it immediately.
Hey, he has not accomplished anything more than Tua has accomplished in his career.
He's been in the playoff game.
So has Tua. He just hasn't played it.
Tua has not played a playoff game. Herbert has.
Okay, he's played in a playoff game that he absolutely.
We're not going to turn this into Tua versus Herbert. I don't even know what the point was. You're the one I think was mentioning.
You brought up the money again. You always bring up the money. Why you always bring up the money?
I am because if the point is this, if this is the guy the Dolphins are going to rock with long term,
are they not?
Something.
Yeah. Do you think in your real mind that Mike McDaniel is going to say, you know what, that Tua guy, he's okay, but I think I could find better or another out there, or maybe I want to draft one. Do you think Mike McDaniel is going to do that?
Not right now. Again, there's a difference between doing that and taking the plunge. Right, they don't need to take the plunge if the results are not there the rest of this season. There's no need to take that plunge right now.
Okay,
and to like shackle yourself.
That's fair. And what are the results? What are the results that you need to see to make that plunge? What are the results? Playoff win? Okay. That's fair.
Before I make the plunge.
Okay. All right, cool. All right. Let's end that.
Okay.
I know how much you love quarterback talk.
I love this, especially it shares his first name with my son. So
Eric, thank you. That is so generous, and we appreciate it. Thank you.
Very nice.
Oh, no question. No. Come on, for that, you get a question, Eric.
Yeah, go ahead. Come back in the chat. Put a question here.
Put a question with it, Eric.
Well, Grant, we need to make a deal, but let's be real. Will other teams really offer the 2 of their last 4 games $4 million plus with all the QB vets hitting the market? Grant, here's the thing: they don't need to make a deal. They literally have him under control for the next 2 seasons, and that's the point I keep trying to make. Until the evidence is in that that's a no doubt, without question guy.
And do you think that they will realistically treat Tua with that hostile manner of not?
Unless if it's not earned, yeah. I think they should. I don't know if they will.
Oh, come on. You know this franchise's history. They gave it to Ryan Tannehill before he even deserved it.
Excellent point.
So they going to do it. Especially if it financially benefits them. How? Sure. I don't know.
My thing is, it's nothing personal. I'm going to put it out there for the 18th millionth time. It's nothing personal. 3 years into the Tannehill experiment, I was telling my wife, who is not a football person, that Dolphins are never going to win anything big with this quarterback. I don't want to be in that situation. And for those who are point blank, steadfast, how dare I question that the Dolphins will be able to do that with Tua? I still need to see evidence because I haven't seen it yet.
Okay,
that's my entire point on this. That's all. I
Mhm.
don't want to be here 6 years late, 6 years from now, still talking about
But you will acknowledge he's a different quarterback than Ryan Tannehill.
Oh, he's much better than Ryan Tannehill. But I don't want to be 6 years down the road saying, yeah, he was very, very good, but could never really get to that next level.
Okay, and he couldn't get to that next level because he had a concussion last year. He got past that.
They lost 4 games. Give me a break.
He is still an elite quarterback right now.
He's not. You just whoa, time out.
Statistically, top 5 quarterback statistically.
Strictly on passer rating, which is nothing but strict numbers. Hold on.
And just about every statistical category. Come on, brother.
Which are pure stats. We do not take into consideration anything else that helps the quarterback. If you look at QBR rating, which I know you hate, but that at the very least involves some analysis of what's going on, other quarterbacks, and you're rolling your head because they're not favorable to Tua. That's why.
I don't know where he is in QBR.
He's like 11th. He's like 11th in QBR.
Okay, that's fair. I would love to see the quarterbacks ahead of him and bring it up.
Oh, I will bring it up.
I know you are. I know you will. Just because QBR is a piece of crap.
And passer rating, Omar, has zero nuance and distinction. And I will give you the perfect example. Ryan Tannehill in 2018 against the Oakland Raiders they did the jet sweep in front of him. All he did was basically toss the ball, 75-yard touchdown by Albert Wilson. That's 1-for-1, 75 yards, 1 touchdown for Ryan Tannehill on his ledger. And that counts exactly the same as you throw a rope 70 yards, 60 yards.
Other quarterbacks get stat padded plays too. Yes, Adam Gase used to throw the ball at the goal line just so he could pad Ryan Tannehill's stats. I get it. I know it. I'm aware. They do the same thing for all quarterbacks, not just Tua, not just. You don't think Justin Herbert's got stat padding stats? He does. But
Omar, you're missing the point.
What's the point?
You're missing the point that you are like locked into passer rating above anything else. And I'm saying it's got its flaws, just like QBR has its flaws because it involves personal evaluation of plays that any quarterback would have made
okay. But you know what the facts are? The facts are he's still a top 5 quarterback for 2 years statistically in just about.
In terms of, he's also played with Tyreek Hill statistically for 2 years. And if you don't think Tyreek Hill makes a big difference, I don't know what to tell you. Would you like the list of the 10 QBs ahead of him in QBR?
I would, please.
Okay, this is from 1 through 10. It also includes, by the way, taking sacks, running the ball. It's got a penalty category here. Not quite sure what that means. Okay, so here it is. Number 1, Brock Purdy, actually tied with Dak Prescott.
Brock is back. Okay, those are the only 2 quarterbacks in the NFL right now with a passer rating higher than
correct. Pure passer rating.
Go ahead.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you that.
4, Patrick Mahomes.
Okay, I'll give you that.
5, I won't even mention his name because we're not allowed to mention his name anymore on this podcast.
Who's that? You talking about?
Because he keeps getting coaches fired, so he sucks and he's got no business being 5. But
he's rated higher than Tua. Oh yeah, okay, sure. Okay.
Number 6, Kirk Cousins.
Okay, Kirk statistically was very highly rated. I think before he got hurt, he was like up there with Tua, 1 and 2 or something.
Yes, he was. 7, Matthew Stafford.
By the way, Kirk Cousins is going to be a free agent this offseason, so it's going to be very interesting what happens with him. Who's the next one?
But Kirk Cousins is another one of those dangerous quarterbacks where the numbers always look better than the actual work.
Yes.
It's very weird.
I would put right now Tua Tagovailoa in the Kirk Cousins category of quarterbacks until he shows you that he's as it.
Okay, that's fair. 7, Matthew Stafford. 8, Jalen Hurts. 9, Trevor Lawrence. 10, Lamar.
Lawrence better than Tua.
I didn't say better. This is the QBR rating.
Higher rated than Tua?
Yes, for QBR. 10, Lamar Jackson. 11, Tua Tagovailoa.
Okay. I could haggle about 1 or 2 of those guys. Top 10 passer in the NFL. I mean, if you asked me if you said to me Tua's going to be a top 10 passer in the NFL by his fourth season, no matter how you split it or categorize it. Would you take that? I guarantee you 90 to 80%, 80% of Dolphin fans would take that. Answering the question.
You take what? What's the question?
If I told you when Tua was drafted that he'd be 4 years later, he'd be a top 10 quarterback in the NFL, would you take that? Would you accept that?
Season's not over yet. If the season ends in floppity doodle, the answer then would be no.
Okay. And he's the only reason the season can end in floppity doodle.
But he's the only reason his passer rating is so good. You can't have it both ways.
Oh, okay. Just like you can't have it both ways when you get coaches fired and you're on your third coach, because every time, even though you're so great, your team sucks.
Let's go back to my question that I asked you again. 30 NFL general managers outside of the Dolphins and Chargers. How many take Justin Herbert? How many take Tua Tagovailoa right now?
9 out of 10. And you know why? Because everybody thinks that they can fix just what's broken.
You know what's broken is he's got a crappy ass team around him with horrible coaching. Does that sound? Hold on. Does that sound like
it?
Hold on. Does that sound like something we heard about Tua in 2020 and 2021?
No.
Really, Omar? Come on now. Really?
The line was bad. The run game was bad. The coaching was bad. Everything was bad. But that guy's got a 10,000-yard receiver and another one who's very dynamic, who's out for the season. He's got one of the best running backs in the NFL, all-purpose backs in the NFL.
You know how many? They said this on Thursday Night Football. Do you know how many snaps they've had together the last 2 seasons? Eckler, Williams, and Keenan Allen on the field in the game at the same time.
No.
9.
This season?
No, and last season combined. 9. So that's all great they have that. And those guys, first of all, those guys can't create separation, and their offensive line's a joke. Again, we're not here to talk about Justin Herbert, but you answered my very own question here. So again, yeah, Tua has become a very good quarterback. He still needs to do that, take that final step, which is be the man.
So does Dak Prescott.
Without question. I didn't question. I've heard this before, and no offense, Orlando, love you, buddy, but that's stupid. Jeff George was a cancer everywhere he went. You want to talk about competitor? He was at the University of Miami and transferred out because another quarterback was coming in and he didn't want to face the competition. So try again with that one. What? Where are you going like this?
Was that Jeff George? Was he at UM?
He never played at UM because he bailed out. He went to Purdue.
Who was the quarterback?
Then he went to Illinois. Sorry. Sorry?
Who was the quarterback?
Was that Steve Walsh time, maybe? No, it was after Steve Walsh.
Oh, I got to look that up. I can't
look it up. Trust me, I'm not making that up.
Yeah.
Oh, but okay. Orlando, you've redeemed yourself. Nova Scotia says that. Great salmon over there.
I do like that Nova Scotia salmon. Some lox. Yes. Did Alan tell you that I got him a salmon yesterday?
No, but I absolutely big props to Omar. This was the day after putting on the Expos hat. I mean, the bromance is blossoming.
Let me get to this. Mike Best. Hey, Mike. Good follow on Twitter. He says we need to make a deal with Tua to help avoid cap hell. I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Right now, he's up against the cap for 23, I believe. Let me look. 23. Let me look. And even when you sign him to a multi-year deal, depending on what that signing bonus is, he's gonna give you cap hell. Once he gets that big deal, he's gonna put you in cap hell.
Yep.
No matter what. So I don't think you do it to avoid the cap hell. You do it because you want to send the message and reinsure to him that, hey, you are our quarterback, you are our franchise, and everybody else. Now, no matter what they do, they're going to be in cap hell. So, it's inevitable. So just they're going to have a lot of work to do to figure it out. So whether they do leave Tua on a 5th-year option or sign him to a multi-year deal, they're still going to be in cap hell. So I don't think it's a factor. This is a good one.
No, Omar just slid up. Bobo, you have just made Omar's day.
We will now see. I'm going to say this. I don't think Robbie Chosen is practicing well lately. But I will firmly and am entrenched in my position that if Tyreek Hill does not play, Robbie Chosen will play, and probably won't just play, but will start. And primarily because Robbie Chosen is the only receiver on the team that will keep your offense consistently what it is in terms of stretching people horizontally and stretching people vertically. And nobody else is going to do that. It's not Braxton Berrios. It's not River Craycraft. It's not Chase Claypool. It's not Cedric Wilson. So you're going to have to use him. Now, I'm not saying you throwing him passes, but you're going to have to use him to stretch the field. So does he play on Sunday? I think he does. Now, who doesn't play? I have absolutely no idea. But you're going to have to make some hard decisions on that one.
So you think Robbie and Tyreek play? Or,
I'm sorry, from Tyreek. You might just be using Tyreek as a situational player, where Tyreek comes in as a decoy or Tyreek comes in to run very specific plays. If you feel comfortable with him, you might not on a high ankle. My concern is Tyreek probably can run really fast, straight line, but cannot cut. So if you're going to ask a guy to be cutting, you might not want him on the field. So all those comebacks that he runs, that he's super wide open, that's because he can cut on a dime and leave the cornerbacks way down the field. We don't know if he can cut like that on that ankle. So I can honestly tell you, I haven't seen Tyreek in a week. And by the way, I saw him on his wife's Instagram at the beach. I'm sure those are old pictures because, they're trying to show everybody, hey, we're happily married. Ignore what's going on in the world. I said it.
Yes,
it needed to be said.
It needed to be said. Wait a second.
It needed to be said.
That's his podcast. And then you said what you said.
Yeah. Will Tyreek play? I think he damn sure will, because this is his team. And you say no.
I'm sorry. It's his team. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
I said what I said.
Tyreek's team.
It is. When did I ever say it wasn't Tyreek's team?
Were you saying that the entire season?
Yeah. I mean,
really?
Tua's a quarterback, but this is Tyreek's team. This is Tyreek, Teron, and Raheem, and Tua, and Tyreek, Teron, Raheem, Tua, and Christian Wilkins' team. Is their team. They call the shots. I'll throw in Jalen Ramsey, too.
Okay, by the way, this is us spitballing. There has been no diagnosis or any report that I've seen about
whether
being a high ankle sprain. Okay, Craig Erickson is Eric saying that, and first name Eric, same as my son's. I'm going to believe you. But it was, there you go. That's the kind of competitor Jeff George was. So
I mean, don't judge him for that. Look at what's going on in college football right now.
Yeah, correct. Right now, this was 1990 or 1989 or whatever. And this is not, it's not just that. Just read up anything. And those of us who were old enough to have seen him, Jeff George had one of the worst reputations in terms of quarterbacks, maybe even worse than Jay Cutler, who had a reputation as not being a good team guy. Cosa Nostra, really? Forced camaraderie? Come on, really?
What does that mean?
That means that our interaction is forced. Does it really look like it's forced? Come on now.
Sometimes I like him. Sometimes I don't like him.
Exactly.
I'm sure he feels the exact same way.
Oh, but I do.
Oh, he was very catty with me this morning in the text exchange. And yesterday too.
And then you were like, okay, keep poking the bear, keep poking the bear.
Yeah, and then I warned him, keep poking the bear, and I'm gonna poke you on that podcast. He knows how I can poke him too.
I was about to call you Yogi. What do we got there? Okay, let's keep going.
Here's one. I agree with Omar. More I formation on the O-line and with Hill's injury. Man, listen, I remember training camp, for those who were here from the beginning, like I used to talk about plays and packages that I really liked that they haven't gotten to. Do you know what most of those packages are? The I formation. And Mike McDaniel has no use for it. It's not even something that he's really interested in. And that play action and that RPO game, RPO out the shot, RPO out the pistol, and the play action out the I formation. Tua could do it, and that looks sexy. It looks sexy, but Mike ain't into it. And I get it. You got the number one offense. You call the shots. But I'm telling you, it works. And they've shown you that it works. But, I don't know what they've got to do to convince him that that's the right approach. He always says it's opponent based.
Yeah, and I'm not 100% sure how successful it would be. I honestly don't. As I've said all along, they need to have some element of that where they can pound the rock when they need to pound the rock. That offense will always. What made this offense special was Tyreek and the speed, pure, simple, point blank. Now, if Tyreek doesn't play, then you go to something else. And even the running game, when it's most effective, it's what? It's misdirection. It's stretching the field.
Yeah. Because that's how you get big chunk yardage. But I'm talking about sustained drives. Their 4-minute offense, that thing is good. And that thing is I formation. Their pistol work, it's effective. They just don't use it. And
ain't been good lately, my man. They couldn't close out the game against the Raiders. They couldn't close out the game against the Titans in the 4-minute offense. They had to give the Raiders the ball, and then took Jalen Ramsey with the pick in the end zone to bail them out. So. Okay. James, thank you, partner. What's up with McDaniel's horrific challenge record costing valuable timeouts? Who is sending him info from the booth that they're wise challenges? That's a great question. And
he even mocks himself as a challenge.
I know. What's the one they had one last week? What was the one that you challenged? I can't remember.
I don't remember. But
somebody will remember. They are, however, they do, however, completely kick ass in terms of coin tosses. They're 12. Did you know they were 11-2?
No, I did not.
Tosses. They haven't lost a coin toss since the home opener against Denver in week 3. 10-game winning streak on coin toss.
This is information that Poupard stores in his brain.
No, I look it up, dude. I look it up. I
don't. Or better yet, looks it up, and I have no idea why.
Because it just dawned on me, like, it's every single time. It's like, okay, Dolphins win the coin toss. Dolphins. So I was like, man. So I went and looked. What's their record? Could they? And that's I'm a sicko. Somebody asked me very, very, very. This is very hurtful, by the way. I got to bring it up. Hold on. This was very hurtful. Where is it? Hold on. 2 people actually have this. Here we go. Jerome Ichokwan. How come I've never heard of the Montreal Expos? Wow, that hurts.
You're really young.
Exactly. You want to go ahead and try it, Omar?
No, you go ahead. I don't know the history of it.
Montreal Expos were a Major League Baseball team that operated from 1969 until it moved to Washington, where it became the Washington Nationals after being taken over by Major League Baseball. After it was dumped by the former owner of the Miami Marlins, Jeffrey Loria. And then, so now it's become the Washington Nationals. This was circa the early 1990s that hat. They started with a pinwheel hat, which is, shockingly enough, this may be, here we go. This was their original hat. And yes, I have it for props right here. Why is it not showing up?
Because it's white. Oh, you just
bad green screen. So anyway, let's go back to the other one. So anyway, that's who the Montreal Expos are.
Why couldn't you keep your team? You wouldn't give them a new stadium? What was the situation?
It was money. They had the best record in baseball in 1994. The players went on strike August 11th, maybe it was. That's how that horrible date is etched in my memory. For a new collective bargaining agreement. And once they resumed, they canceled the rest of the season. Once they resumed play, they loosened the rules for free agency. And Montreal did not have the financial resources to compete with other teams, despite drawing very well. And then all of a sudden, all their good players wound up leaving as free agents. The team started struggling because of it. Jeffrey Loria bought it. More financial problems. He wound up selling it to Major League Baseball to buy the Marlins. Major League Baseball took ownership of it. and eventually moved it to Washington in 2005. So, and as somebody who was born and raised in Montreal, obviously they were very near and dear to my heart. Hence the hat. Plus, this is an ode to all cities that have had professional sports franchises yanked from them
because they didn't do what it took to maintain them. There is some. I'm a believer that if you do want professional sports teams, you're going to have to give these billionaires some subsidies and public assistance. And
but is that right?
You either want to keep your team or you don't. I mean, these are the choices.
For example, Miami, do we not have as somebody who pays taxes and
we give public subsidies to every single sports team, and I don't even support the MLS team, but you know what? I do support the public subsidy because if you want major league sports in your city, these are the things you're going to have to do. Otherwise, you're going to lose them.
While owners keep putting money in their pockets.
Absolutely. Owners and players, and yes, but you either want the team or you don't. And Vegas, you don't think when the Marlins were shaken down for their stadium, you don't think that they were going to pick up and go to Vegas to San Antonio? Because they damn sure would have.
No, I don't know if they would have. And anyway, dude, let's not get into this conversation because, by the way, you want to push my buttons, piss me off because Jeffrey Loria and David Sampson, who literally refused to show kept pleading poverty and refused to open his books to prove his case, and then after the fact was caught on a microphone in a Miami Chamber of Commerce meeting laughing about how he snookered everybody. So no. Whoa, Ethan Bonner being elevated. Hold on, somebody just said they announced this. Let me look.
Ethan Bonner, the cornerback. So why is there a cornerback crisis? Because Nick Needham needs to be moved to safety?
Or X maybe. Let's confirm this. Or X maybe.
Ethan Bonner. I actually have an Ethan Bonner interview that I'll probably have to drudge up from the one time we were allowed to talk to a practice squad player. I don't have it.
Yeah, I don't have that notification either. So I don't know where you got that, Jesse.
I'm not saying it's not real, but
correct. Ethan Bonner's not a safety.
The streets, but you know what? It could make sense because Nick Needham is going to have to play. If Javon Holland doesn't play safety, Nick Needham has to play safety. And then
nickel instead of Justin Bethel or Eli Apple. Okay.
I mean, ooh.
What?
Damn, Eli Apple could be cut today. Wow.
Oh, well, no, that could never happen. No. You and I have discussed this, and I said they would never, ever. Wait a second. I did say he was on the way.
Wow, that could explain it if this does happen. Ethan Bonner. Yeah, because if you're gonna elevate Chris Brooks, it would have to be for Eli Apple. And Eli Apple could go find work with a playoff team for the final month of the season, and somebody will take over the guaranteed money that you've committed to him. So
okay, let's get this notification. There we go. Hi, Kurt. Comment. This comes from
Cam Wolf is reporting Ethan.
Correct, and Cam knows, so I wouldn't. I don't. It's a fact. So
yeah, that's dope. Ethan Bonner. Look at that. I'm gonna have to find my Ethan Bonner interview.
No, anyway, Smythe and Hill get more involved in the passing game, like them match up against the Jets linebackers. Well, they can't be less involved in the passing game. Oops, did I say that out loud?
Wow, let's think this out here. Damn.
What?
That means you're definitely going to be playing Nick Needham at safety. That means you're worried about the hip for Xavier.
Oh, okay, there we go. X.
That means.
Does that mean that Adam Beasley's column is coming to fruition and they're benching Kader Kohu?
Oh, actually, you know what? Because remember when training camp, Ethan Bonner played dime and nickel. Remember that?
Whoa.
Nah, they're not benching Kader. They're not benching.
No, but he did have the rough game, even though Vic
He had a rough game.
and Vic had his back. Vic was not pointing the finger at anyone.
I know, but he had a rough game.
Oh, he did.
This is interesting. You're seeing people spitball reasons why things happen live. So that means we're on Eli Apple watch at 4:00 because they might have to activate him. If you're not playing Devon, you're going to have to activate Chris Brooks, and you're going to have to find a roster spot for him. By Poupard standard, that roster spot either comes from your wide receiver Robbie Chosen, who I'm saying starts, and Poop is not going to deny that because he's wise enough.
They're going to deny what? That he starts?
Robbie Chosen, yeah. The possibility, the likelihood. And when I say start, I mean actually play in the base package.
Okay, because my guess is they're going to open either with 3 wides or 2 tight ends. I mean,
when I say start, I mean play in the base package. Ethan Bonner.
Whoa! Here's a good one here. We're talking to all the cornerbacks on the roster and never mentioned Cam Smith once. Paul, I think Vic Fangio trusts Cam Smith about as far as he can throw him.
No, that's not fair. I
said what I said. Sorry.
He's not. Ethan Bonner is not better than Cam Smith. He's not. Come on, don't do that.
So why the need when we also have Justin Bethel?
Because Ethan plays dime and nickel, and if Nick moves to safety, you're missing a dime and a nickel. Cam Smith cannot play dime and nickel. Cam Smith only plays boundary. And
Justin Bethel plays nickel and dime, and he hasn't been used lately.
Well, I don't know. Special teams? But Cam only plays boundary. He's not playing dime and nickel.
I don't disagree with you there.
So it makes sense. When you move Nick to safety, your dime and nickel is open and vacant. So, these are the conversations that they have to decide on Saturday. Plus, don't act like you don't need special teams help. Don't act like it, especially when Brandon is playing base defense. When now Elijah, what you laughing at?
Look on the screen. Good one, Noel. That's good.
Okay, that's cute.
Come on, that's cute.
Matt Scorer should be activated too because they're going to need a backup safety.
Center,
yeah. Unless Liam is going to be playing. And you can find a story on Liam Eichenberg on the website, alldolphins.com, where if take your question down there, sure. Okay. Where you can find all your information, all your coverage. No longer a need to pay those ridiculous $20 a month subscriptions. Cancel it off your credit card because we give you all Dolphins coverage for free. So Chris Brooks probably going to be elevated. If that happens, then we know that Achane is not playing. Chris Brooks also helps you on special teams. Eli Apple is probably on the cut watch just because they need a roster spot for Chris Brooks, and I can't find it anywhere else other than Eli Apple.
Robbie Chosen. I'm sorry. Had to be done.
I'm not messing with you. Oh, you know what?
Come on, give me some props for the joke. That was
Tyler Kroft.
You're gonna keep only 2 tight ends on the roster, although he's not.
You do have one on practice squad though. 2 on practice squad.
Nick Bowers, and who's the other one?
Tanner Connor.
Oh, Tanner Connor.
But I think Tanner Connor might be out of elevations.
Yes, he is.
Yes,
he is.
Interesting. So this Ethan Bonner can be mainly special teams because now you got Elijah's elevated into a starting role. You're gonna need special teams help. So that's where it makes sense.
Well, Elijah's playing special teams if Javon Holland can't go again. Otherwise, it's going to be Brandon Jones and Javon Holland.
Yes, but if Holland can't go, then Elijah's a starting safety, and he needs to be taken off or phased down on special teams. So,
here's another one.
Another one with what? any way to move.
Would they move Ramsey to safety?
No, they're not interested
What?
in that.
No, but it's not. It's not the craziest idea ever. And he's
Not the
played
craziest idea, but they're not going to do it.
He's played some of that. I thought Cheetah don't get hurt. Oh, yeah.
Cheetah don't get hurt.
No, unfortunately. So you're saying this matchup against the Jets is our Super Bowl?
It's certainly an elimination game. It is absolutely an elimination game, like that Mike McDaniel has been talking about. You win this game, you strengthen your chances of winning the AFC East, strengthen your chances of having home field advantage in the playoffs. You lose this game, you weaken those chances, and then you open up Pandora's box, which means the season finale against Buffalo is likely winner take all. And do you really want that?
Yeah, and yeah, the two games tomorrow, the Jets, Dolphins, and then Bills, Cowboys. If those both go the right way, you might as well put a check mark in the division title. If they both go the wrong way, yeah, 11 with Omar, it becomes week 18 is going to be. I got to pat myself on the back. Jerome, thank you, partner. You said my last name like you know me. Great job, sir.
How did you say his last name?
Ichokwan.
Ichokwan. Damn. Boss move by you.
Well, this is where the advantage of
speaking
French is my first language, English as second language, married to a woman of Cuban and Dominican descent. So got a little bit of everything in there right now. What?
This is a good one. How much different is it for QB when he starts with a backup O-line versus having backups come in mid-game from injured starters?
Boom. Thank you.
What are you booming?
Because one of the great frustration I've had in the entire discussion, the whole Teddy Bridgewater debate, and by the way, it's a very cool story circulating now as you proceed to roll. You know how much I love it when you do that. Great story about how he's going to retire after this season to become a high school coach, and how much vitriol there was directed in his way because of last year. It's never ever mentioned the fact that he never started and finished a game, not once. And the other thing also, do you know the Dolphins had only one non-tour game last year in the regular season, started and finished by the same quarterback, and they won that game. So, yes, how much difference if the QB starts backup O-lineman versus backups come in mid-game for injured starters? If you're talking, it's disruptive. Any kind of disruption like that is damaging to an offense and the ability to operate smoothly, without question.
Yeah, Liam Eichenberg had to take like 10 practice snaps with Tua before he actually had to snap the ball. It's tremendously challenging. Robert Hunt probably played the worst game of his career last week, and that's because he's coming into the game just absolutely fresh. Robert Jones.
Sorry. I was going to say, whoa.
Too many Roberts at right guard.
Well, at least they don't have 4 Joneses on the roster like they used to not too long ago. They had Brandon, Robert, Benito, and then somebody else. I forget who.
I think it's one, having Teron Armstead out there at left tackle, even if he's at 70%, it's going to be a stabilizing presence for them. That way they can slide their protections all throughout the rest of the line. So that's a help. You couldn't do that with Kendall Lamb. And then Kendall Lamb is also going to be needed because Austin Jackson's battling the oblique back issue, which, we saw how that impacted Jalen Phillips before he suffered his Achilles injury. So that's a tricky situation. So the offensive line, they are without a doubt at a crisis point. So
Cap for life, second ranked rushing attack versus a Jets team giving up 130 on the ground. Here's the thing, and I mentioned that earlier. Understand that a lot of the yardage giving up by the Jets on the ground, not all of it, but some of it, is a result of their defense having worn down because their offense was so dysfunctional for the good chunk of the season, where it's 3 and out, and the defense goes back on the field over and over again. Happened second half against the Dolphins, second half against Buffalo, and those are just off the top of my head. So while their run defense is not nearly as good as their pass defense, that's a factor. So I don't think I would just go look strictly at the number and say bad run defense. Go ahead, Omar. Something's making you laugh.
No, that is true. I've heard you make that argument, and I totally agree with you on that in that accord.
Damn it, I don't have my mints either. I can't do it. Whoa, you writing a story?
Promoting a story, all Dolphin story.
There you go. Somebody was asking, not necessarily for Dolphin implications, but who do we think's winning the Minnesota-Cincinnati game?
I don't know. I don't even know who's starting at quarterback for you.
It's Jake Browning against Nick Mullins. I think to me it's Cincinnati and pretty solidly, but do not hold me to it.
Interesting.
And then in terms of rooting interest, the only one that matches two AFC teams, because the Saturday night game is Denver at Detroit. So obviously we're rooting for the Lions. 4:00 is Pittsburgh at Indy.
Is Indy still in the playoff mix?
They're both 7-5.
Okay.
Gardner Minshew against, I don't know if Kenny Pickett's back. I think Pittsburgh has a tougher season-ending schedule than Indy does. So guess go Steelers.
Mike Tomlin is going to get himself a winning season. So
of course he is.
And I totally respect that.
Oh.
The question is that winning season going to get him in the playoffs?
No, but that's another team that they had any kind of offensive production for most of the year, they'd be not only a playoff team but a dangerous playoff team because their defense is for real. I like this one here from Noel again. Say Bridgewater or neck pain and watch Omar spin. That's funny.
It's true. I need a good massage. Oh. I have shoulder tightness. I'm working it out in Pilates.
Yeah, and I need to start playing tennis again. So,
I could get you on the Joe Rose circuit if you want. You want to get whooped?
I beat Joe Rose, so I don't know what you're talking about. Who else?
You could beat Joe.
Who else is on the Joe Rose circuit?
I don't know. I guess Harvey Fialkov. Can you beat Joe for real?
Yes. No respect. No respect.
Yeah, you must be good then. Okay.
Dude, I'm a jock. I've not told you that before.
All right. Okay. I'm gonna check on that on Monday. Okay.
By all means.
Yeah.
By all means. I played Harvey many times as well.
Harvey sucks.
Harvey's better than Joe, actually.
No.
When he was right, yes, Harvey was better than Joe.
Wow.
And I haven't played either in a while, but yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I got to get back to playing. I love racquetball. I just haven't played because I had knee issues, and basically a doctor told me to get off the court 10 years ago, and I did, but I missed the game, and it's a great way to stay fit.
Yeah, man, I liked racquetball, but I was doing it while playing tennis, and the swing's completely different, and it was completely messing up my game. Rapture, our O-line is a shell of what we had in the beginning of the season, not looking good. And with that, I will encourage Omar to go ahead and put our alldolphins.com thing, because I wrote literally a big picture view of the injury situation on the offensive line, compared it to the past 8 years since the Unicorns. Omar, I made the Unicorns my starting point just for you.
A Chris Forrester creation, as is Butch Barry.
Well, let's not pretend they didn't have 4 first-round picks on the offensive line. Plus,
but it was still the outside zone that was benefit. Inside zone too. They had a phenomenal line that year.
Yes, they had 4 first-round picks, plus a guy who had made the Pro Bowl before.
Yeah. But they didn't become that until the bloodshedding of Billy Turner, Jamal Douglas, and Dallas Thomas.
And Jamil Douglas.
Yeah, I said Jamil Douglas.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, because of injuries. Pouncey had missed some time. Remember Laramie Tunsil had slipped in a shower or something, missed a game early in the season. Do you remember that?
Yes, I think that was the day that Billy Turner had to play left tackle and really sucked at it. No, he wasn't playing left tackle because Laremy Tunsil was not left tackle then.
Correct.
I don't remember. Yeah.
Correct.
But I do remember slipped in the shower. Yeah.
Sprained his ankle, missed a game. So anyway, I looked at the past 8 years in terms of how many different starting offensive linemen they had, the number of starts they got from their either opening day starting line or the real start, so you can do the comparison. I didn't have time to do the research for every team around the league. I know off the top of my head the Jets also have major issues.
Jets are on their 10th offensive line combination as well.
And the Cleveland Browns have lost 3 tackles. Their top 3 tackles are on IR. So again, just to make the point that it's been bad. The problem is right now it's just accumulating on the offensive line, but I don't know that's crazier than usual.
Philip asked, will Mike ever argue bad call penalties in games? It's just not his personality.
You're not getting a call overturned anyway.
Yeah, it's just not his personality. And he's given us a lecture on that, like, why cry over something that can't be undone? Why use your energy in that way?
Why cry over a spilled flag?
Yeah.
Spilled milk, spilled flag, sorry.
David Rome recording says, how long did it take Drew Brees to get to Super Bowl level? I believe it was, he got there in his 6th or 7th season. And he became...
Well, he made his first Pro Bowl in his 4th season.
Yes, but he became an upper echelon quarterback in his 5th season, which was his first year with Sean Payton. And they didn't win the championship until season 7, season 8 in New Orleans system. And truthfully speaking, he never got back to elite status after that. He just lived off his reputation.
What are you talking about?
Drew Brees?
Dude, he was second in the AP MVP voting in 2000. I'm looking at his bio page here. This is not stuff I know off the top of my head, but once a question was asked, 2018, second in the AP MVP voting.
Okay. Tua might be second right now.
In the MVP voting? Come on, man. Really? Are we serious with it? You mean on the Dolphins? Yes, you're absolutely. On the Dolphins roster, maybe.
When Tua has a strong finish in December, he's gonna rise up those MVP rankings.
Then we'll talk. What do you think he is now?
5th, 6th.
By
Still
the way,
in conversation.
According to the betting odds, well, there's a column written this week. No, I'm not going to go there. According to betting odds, actually, it's the first time that I saw the betting odds actually have Tyreek higher than Tua this week. That's the first time I've seen it all year.
I think that started like last week or the week before that. But yes, when that whole narrative about Tyreek, should Tyreek be MVP, and people started really betting it because it gave him a ridiculous opportunity. Now they realize they flushed that money down the drain because he's not becoming MVP unless he gets 2,000. And right now, if he doesn't play, I think
if he gets 1987, I think he might get him again. Combined, you think it's that arbitrary that if it's not, if it's 2,000? See, and I don't, but it's I don't. And to me, and by the way, I will apologize. You were correct. It was last week, and then, but to me, it's not that arbitrary. Close to the record, close to 2,000 plus, obviously, Dolphin team success.
Mm-hmm. Oh.
Run the ball type weather tomorrow. It's supposed to be very windy. The rain's supposed to stop right like around noonish.
Supposedly.
Well, no, correct. But wind of like 14 miles an hour with gusts up to 32 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
So.
I don't understand this one.
What's that?
Thanks for the content. Shout out to my 11-year-old Roman. Okay. Shout out, Roman.
Hey Roman. What up?
11-year-old, man. That's a cool age, especially for a boy.
And by the way, here's the thing I would say. If it's indeed run the ball type weather, I think that favors the Dolphins because despite what I said earlier about the Jets run defense, the Dolphins clearly have a better run defense than the Jets. And for the most part, have a better running game because the Jets have not run the ball well for most of the season, although Brees Hall's had a couple of decent games.
Toby asked, Rich Eisen or Tua in the 40. Who you got? Come on, man. Tua, you saw Tua put on that speed for that first down run against the Titans. You saw it. You saw it. Don't deny it.
Tua's not fast, but come on, that's funny. EJ, gentlemen, should the wins not convincingly crush the Jets, would any subsequent adjustments be unattainable?
Man, just win. Don't
Win.
don't convincingly do nothing. Just win. Just win.
Yep. Doesn't have there no more. There's no style points, and again, they're going to be shorthanded in terms of injuries, and even if some players might play while not at 100%. So the adjustments are going to be players coming back and players getting healthy. Those are the adjustments they need.
I figured you'll like this one. I love the part. He always speaks the truth and mostly agrees with all his points.
Oh, Jose.
Yeah, suck up to him, Jose. He likes
Come on, no, come on.
Mhm.
Hold on. This one was funny, actually. Sal, to a lack of speed hurts. It doesn't. He's not a running quarterback. He's not a scrambling quarterback. He's a pocket quarterback.
And I don't want my quarterback doing anything but scrambling for a first down once a game. That's it.
Yeah, it's lack of speed is completely irrelevant, personally. Shout out to Gene over here. Hit the like button, everyone.
Yeah, hit the like button. Thank you. It helps our algorithm, as does everything. It's been a very difficult week for us. Sad face.
Yeah. Omar, you can have this one.
9/11 Lemonade. Nick Hicks said they worked on Tua's rushing over the summer. I remember. Okay. Tua can run. Tua can scramble. Tua's not slow. Tua's not slow. Tua's not fat. Like, people need to stop. Like, he's thick. He ain't fat. He's thick, but
he's got functional mobility where he can scramble and gain first downs. Scrambling. Yes. He's not Lamar Jackson. He's not Jalen Hurts.
You saw him last year bowl over a cornerback or something.
Yeah, a cornerback. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, cornerbacks should get it too.
Tua Dan Marino 40, who would win? Wow, what is this with the Tua bashing on the speed?
I don't know.
Wait, stop it, people. Tua is perfectly fine in terms of his mobility. Max from Montreal.
Thank you, Max from Montreal. We appreciate you, Max.
Go ahead, pronounce that, Omar.
Huh?
Pronounce that.
Merci les boys.
Merci les boys. There you go.
What does that mean?
Thank you, fellas.
Oh, okay. What? Say it again.
Merci les boys.
Merci les boys.
There you go.
So, of boys is fellas.
Boys is actually no. Les gars. Merci les merci. No. Boys is actually it's no. That's the English word.
Okay.
But in the way it's used, if you say les boys, literally it would mean the boys. But the way it's phrased, it's more like fellas. If that makes sense.
Okay.
You're giving me the look my wife gives me when I try to teach her some French. Like, yeah, whatever.
This is Omar always has something negative to say, of course, or always plays devil's advocate. I do neither, and your opinion of me is based on your perspective or what you hear or what you latch on to. But it is what it is.
And those who say that about me, when they say I'm always negative, I say, no, I'm not. That's my line here. Preston, watching from San Antonio, win for Son Tay's 13. Happy birthday, Tay.
Happy birthday, Tay. Cousins to the Jets. What are you talking about? The Jets have their quarterback in Aaron Rodgers. Cousins ain't playing for the Jets. Kirk Cousins is going to be playing somewhere, but it's not going to be for the Jets.
Yeah, it's interesting. Wondering where he might wind up.
Him and Tannehill.
What?
Him and Tannehill. You think Tannehill's done? Nah.
He'll be back up somewhere.
You think so?
You think he's going to be a starter?
Tannehill can beat some mediocre starter out.
Oh, no. Yeah, I actually said it before. Atlanta.
Yeah. That's good spot.
Arthur Smith.
But Kirk Cousins could go to Atlanta. Not that I would want.
The scheme they run, they want to run like it's a heavy run offense with play action. That's Tannehill's forte.
Hey, if that coach is going to be around,
dude, they might win the division. They might win that crappy ass division. They might. I mean, it's brutal.
Well, you guys made me want some Nova Scotia salmon. I feel like you guys are peer pressuring me. I do. I've been really craving like well cooked fish, and I'm not a well-cooked fish cooker. So it's like I got to go find some place that makes like a good, well-cooked fish. But I only really like eating at mom and pop shops or hole in the walls because I think that's where you get the best food. So I'm gonna be scouring South Florida to find a good place for fish.
I got one for you here that's to make it home. Costco has a very nice wild caught Alaskan salmon marinated.
Yeah. I've cooked that. I like it. I like it, but I don't want salmon. I don't want salmon. I had salmon yesterday, thanks to the Dolphins. I want
And
some
I
like
thought we were friends. You're right. It's all fake. It's all an act. Sorry.
you can eat salmon every day. I
I
cannot.
love salmon. I love salmon.
I know,
Actually,
and that Costco salmon is very delicious. It is, without a doubt.
Costco salmon with rice, cauliflower, and some veggies. You mix the whole
Yeah,
thing
because you're on that Atkins
keto.
keto. Oh, sorry, keto. What is Atkins? I can't remember.
I have no idea. I don't know the name of it. It's basically it's actually what one of my doctors had suggested many years ago that I didn't particularly do is it's called the white diet. Basically, just nothing white: potatoes, rice, bread.
I'm on that.
Yeah.
I've been doing that my whole life. I don't eat anything. I generally don't eat anything white except for white rice.
Yeah, and that one goes.
But I'm Caribbean as well, so rice is hard. But I just honestly I haven't been eating lately, so I've lost a lot of weight. Drew, how much of a percentage does YouTube take of donations and gifts?
Too much.
30%. And just to answer your question, 30%. It's. But you know what? Hey, it is what it is. It's part of the game, and YouTube treats us a lot better than audio does. So, just giving you guys some real perspective. Like, if you think you want to do a podcast, and that's great, because there's a young lady who just started doing a podcast for Dolphins Talk, I believe. I can't remember her name. I feel bad.
Her name. How can you not remember her name? You want me to say it?
I do. Marissa Marino, and she's very talented.
I know last name of Marino, like doing a Dolphin podcast.
Yeah. This is her follow right here. I'm actually, it's weird that I'm promoting, but I actually
Marissa. By the way, you owe us some money for the free promotion here.
I like her work. I like her take. I like her perspective because I like a female's perspective in sports. I think it's refreshing. And I've grown up around women who know sports like better than a lot of guys. Like Miko, who I did a podcast with, that's up on YouTube. I tweeted out earlier. I'll tweet it out again after this. Miko knows sport. Miko knows sports better than 95% of the men in the world. So I hate the perspective that women don't know sports. So, but to make money on YouTube, you got to get a hell of a lot of views. I forget what the threshold is. Poupard probably knows because he's amazing at knowing numbers.
How's that for letting you down?
You got to have like 100. I can't remember what the hours were of viewing hours, but it's a ridiculous threshold. But once you pass it, it's pretty good as long as you don't put openings and closings in it.
There you go. Okay, Emerson, when are you guys taking this show on the road? What do you have in mind, Emerson? We did take the show on the road when we were in Houston. Yeah. If the Dolphins wind up in the Super Bowl, we'll take the show on the road.
Playoffs?
Yeah, no.
She's like, no. He's like, I'm not going to Kansas City.
No. Okay, what else do we have here so we can? I think we're getting close to that time. We'll go ahead. No, right? Omar Sar and Dolphin Thirsty Show. Marissa Marino, correct. I think I'm gonna do it, bro. No idea.
I'm looking.
We're both looking at.
Can I get an explanation on what they are? What is that? Can I get an explanation on what they are, please? I don't know. That's your
on what are?
I don't know.
Go ahead, Jerome. Follow up on there.
Why isn't Alec Ingold more involved in the passing game this year?
That's a good question.
I don't know. And I think he's a pretty good pass catcher, and I think he's a pretty good weapon, and I think they should utilize him more.
I like this question here from Jeff. What do you guys want to see in the opening scene from Hard Knocks this week? I don't know if it'll be the opening scene, but I don't know if you saw it, Omar. Andrew Van Ginkel's wife, Samantha, posted on Twitter a picture of a gingerbread house making party with a whole bunch of Dolphin players. Saw Tua there.
And their kids?
Jason Sanders. No, Tua and his wife, Jason Sanders. Calvin Munson, Andrew Van Ginkel.
Who hosted the party?
I believe it was going to say maybe Calvin Munson based on the Twitter.
Calvin Munson just got here. How's he hosting a party?
Because he's a former Dolphin player. You remember? It's his third go around.
Yeah, but he ain't got no crib to host a party.
I don't. Maybe it was at somebody else's house. I don't know.
Not Calvin Munson.
Okay, anyway, there were some cool pictures, and there's a whole.
Calvin Munson probably has a bag, a rental car, and a rented apartment. He's not hosting no party.
Why are you shaming me like that? I was wrong. Maybe I made a mistake. Sorry.
Calvin Munson doesn't even have a third change of underwear. Like he's not hosting a party.
Okay. Anyway, be that as it may, there was a big party with gingerbread houses. It's the Christmas season. If that ended up being the opening scene, and then considering when it happened,
this is actually the episode they do have to do all the Christmas stuff because they've been giving each other gifts and the white elephant gifts and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, but I think the opening scene has to be Mike McDaniel setting the agenda. It's going to be one of those boring meeting speeches, even though actually it won't because they only met. They met first time Wednesday.
Well, no, correct. And not only that, the opening scene last week was the beach. Was where he had the beach.
Yes.
That gaming dude, why did the passing game last year feel more spread out than this year? It did.
Because they weren't obsessed with getting Tyreek to 2,000 yards. And Tyreek wasn't killing people.
It's not spread out this year?
No, it's not. It's not diversified at all. And Tua has to get back to that. Mr. Kelly, despite being a self-professed
non-hat guy,
that Expos cap makes for a dashing Omar. I'm not a cap guy. It just doesn't. My head is too big for caps. In fact, there's literally only one cap that actually fits me correctly, and it's called a dread fit cap, which is there's a lot of hair, folks. A lot of hair. This hair goes all the way down my back, and unfortunately, it makes it very difficult to put a hat on.
But that added to the beauty of the gesture that you would do that for me.
Yeah.
Amber, how does it seem the more we talked about Tyreek in 2000, we went away from passing balance, not enough Waddle, even Sherfield made a big TD catch last year, not enough pass balance. This is where I'm going to counter Omar Omar and Amber, because that's what I do. Dolphins have been number one in total offense pretty much the entire season. They've been in the top three in scoring pretty much the entire season. I don't think lack of balance in the passing game is the issue. Whatever issue they have, the issue they have on offense, if they have one, at times has been turnovers and at other times has been short yardage situations. So
I would say goal line efficiency as well, goal line scoring. But
yeah, to a certain degree, I don't disagree with that.
Lisandro Martinez asks, "Who's the Dolphins' worst player?"
Not going there. Not going there. There's no point. Robbie chosen just to piss off Omar.
On the roster right now, the weakest.
Are you really going to answer that? I was joking.
I'm going to answer that. The weakest link would probably be Tyler Kroft.
Who? Oh, Tyler Kroft. Okay.
I mean, I'm just thinking like expendable players.
Eli Apple. Dude's been inactive.
Eli Apple's in there, but Eli Apple, I think he could still play better than some of the cornerbacks on the roster, but just because of the circumstances and he doesn't contribute on special teams, I don't think that's really a fair thing to say. Because remember, he was starting at some point in the season.
I know, but I just hate this Dolphin worst player. That's
yeah, okay. Maybe I shouldn't have answered it, but you know.
So that's why I prefer when you turn it around to most expendable. And
what's the update on Alba D's tube? I used to have a girlfriend named Alba Ochoa. I always wondered what the hell happened to her.
Maybe she'll chime in.
We were like we were boyfriend girlfriends in elementary school. She went to Hialeah High, and
Nice.
I always wonder what the heck happened to Alba Ochoa. But
Alba,
anyway,
if you're out there, chime in with a comment.
yeah. What's up with Holland? Holland basically said he might play, but he's still working his way back from the MCL sprains.
Brains.
And I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. I think he's going to be rested for a full month before he's going to be returned to the field.
Yep.
Do we need a new S and C staff? What is it? S and C staff? Wait. Oh, strength and conditioning. No. I'm not even going to entertain that. Injury is
I think if it's the joke as I suspect it is, I think
I'm sure it is.
That's fine.
We are 30 years older than we were when we were boyfriend and girlfriend. Like, yeah. But I never. I always, anytime I meet somebody named Alba, I'm like, that's such a unique name.
It is a unique name, yeah.
Yeah.
By the way, yeah, let's address this. Fins fan for life. Tua looks like he's about to become a daddy again. Baby number 2 on the way. Yes, if you saw the picture on Samantha's post. Oh, absolutely, yes. Hannah.
Okay, but the baby's not like coming like this weekend.
It doesn't look like it's going to be that long.
Yeah.
Nana is clearly showing.
I mean, no, she's been pregnant since training camp, so you
okay.
Count,
there you go.
Let's count the months. She's been showing since training camp, so here we are 5 months later. She can't be that far.
Amber, best offense with high scoring on bad defenses, then back to life against their shell, and the good defenses selling in on Tyreek to counter back. This is the argument about spreading the wealth on offense. Well, the other guys have to get open, and I think that's part of what we saw in that 2-minute drill. I don't think Tua really intended to throw short in the middle of the field practically on every down. That's what wound up happening, and I'm going to guess I don't recall seeing like the all 22 of that. I just watched the regular play, but that's what happens if you guys are not getting opened on the field. So,
I'm like,
in theory, it's great to be able to have like a lot better, distribution in terms of the targets. But if Tyreek's back and Tyreek's close to being healthy, he's going to be the focal point. That's just a fact.
Omar, why haven't you been on the Big O show? Mitch,
man,
both. I got fired. Poupart fired Big O. That's why we're not on the Big O show. We created our own show. And when Big O told us that this wouldn't be profitable or good for us, he was very sadly mistaken.
In my case, it was a mutual parting of the ways.
No, you got fired.
You just said 5 seconds ago I fired.
Okay, no. Okay. Yeah, no, I got fired. Yes, you fired him.
No, it was a mutual party.
I forgot. Did I mess with you and tell you that you got fired?
Yes, big time.
Yeah. Damn, I should have stuck with that. Yeah. No, let me correct myself. We both got fired, okay?
Here you go, stretching the truth again. G. Reed, great show, fellas.
Yeah,
well, go back. Hold on. You're not going to do this to me. Great show, fellas. Yeah, except when Omar is doing this crap that he just did. You two have been covering football professionally for years. What made you fall in love with the sport? You want to go first?
I really loved basketball. That was my first love. I just really knew football a lot more and a lot better because of my upbringing and exposure to the sport. I played for Walt Frazier, who was a legendary high school coach. Eventually helped him out from coaching, learning X's and O's, and basically being like a helper. Then first guy I covered was Bobby Bowden, and Bobby Bowden really, really, really took a lot of time to teach me the game, and I just became very good at it and very knowledgeable about it, and really this was forced on me, and just gravitated to it.
Forced on you.
I wanted to cover the NBA. I wanted to be Ira Winderman.
Okay.
And then I realized me and Ira didn't get along. And he felt threatened by me and basically ran me off. So I was like, Okay, I'll go cover the NFL then.
For me, it was just strictly an issue of my father being a very, 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 very good athlete, like borderline professional level. So grew up tennis, golf, baseball. I mean, dude was in his 60s shooting 75s on a regular basis in golf. So grew up watching sports all the time, became a massive jock. So sports was always going to be in the picture. Somehow, probably my first love, maybe baseball, then hockey, then football. Football's the one that I wound up going. I think growing up, my childhood dream actually growing up might have been to cover the Expos as a beat writer. After I moved to Miami, that didn't materialize and became covering the Dolphins. I don't know if that answers the question very well, but love all sports basically. Omar, we'll be going at it for almost an hour and a half. I think we should wrap it up. Let's see if there are any major questions.
I hate to leave questions on the table, so I'm searching now.
Okay.
I'm trying to see. They're putting out the latest on Tyreek Hill, which is what?
Who's doing that?
Ian Rappaport.
Hoping tomorrow. Now, CJ Stroud, their starter in what has been a feel-good season.
Okay, I'm not interested in CJ Stroud. Sorry.
I do not know if they're going to have their superstar receiver, one of the best receivers in the NFL. Tyreek Hill hurt his ankle on Monday night with a hip drop.
Okay, this is nothing.
Correct.
All right, we don't know if Tyreek playing. We don't know. We'll find out at game time.
Correct. Okay.
Or 90 minutes before game time.
Amber again. Hi, Amber. So you're saying Waddle can't get open anymore? Come on, man. Waddle, Berrios, Chase. We are getting very predictable now. Name one good halftime adjustments. We made that work. Amber, I will counter by saying, yes, Waddle can get open. I will counter by saying, look at the first drive of the second half for the Dolphins this year. I think you will find an insane success ratio. So obviously they're doing something.
They got the number one offense all season. What you gonna say? Like,
right? Yeah, I think
like you can't criticize somebody who's been number one all damn season. Like it's impossible.
No, you can, but it's like it's getting. Dude, if you want it to be at the next level to where it can get you a Super Bowl, obviously they need to be better in short yardage. I don't think any end goal line. I don't think either of us would argue that. Mm-hmm. But I think that the issue of distribution in the passing game, again, they've been number one in the. What the hell is that? They've been number one. Is that your Pilates or your yoga or whatever?
No, my neck really hurts.
Okay,
but sitting in a chair. We've sat in a chair for 90 minutes.
Yeah, I'm aware of that.
Well, what are your thoughts on the safeties this weekend? Any concerns? Yes, a lot.
There you go.
And it's going to impact special teams, which is probably why Ethan Bonner's activated. It's going to drastically impact.
Except there haven't been long returns against the Dolphins for a while. There was a blocked field goal last week.
Yeah, it's still both Brandon Jones and Elijah are both key special teams players.
So is Duke Riley, and again,
and so is Duke Riley. So you just took three key special teams player off a unit. There's going to be loss. There's going to be some struggles.
This is where also. Well, I don't know about we'll find out about struggles, but this is where the win's going to play a factor because when Jason Sanders is kicking off against the win, that ain't going to be a touchback. There will be kickoff returns tomorrow.
Ooh, sexy.
Okay. Oh, really? What?
Mountain Man asks, Omar, why is Claypool not being used? I'm going to summarize it. They say he knows the offense. They say he's being outperformed in practice by Cedric Wilson. It's either him or Cedric Wilson. Cedric Wilson beats him out or has beat him out. Mike McDaniel says he has regrets about not using the Claypool package. There's apparently a Claypool package. No better time to use it than now. None. Zero. And this is a great opportunity to dust off the Claypool package and put it into utilization. I did see Claypool working after practice with a coach. So that was yesterday. maybe that's a sign that he knows he's going to be more involved, and they're working on getting the finer points. Red Lobster, bro. You know what? I do love Red Lobster.
Oh.
I do love Red Lobster, and you might be motivating me to go get some Red Lobster.
Oh.
What? Ain't nothing wrong with Red Lobster, homeboy.
Butter City. Holy moly!
I'm sorry. I didn't know I was on a cholesterol diet. Like,
but it's.
I love it.
It just masks the taste. All it tastes is the. Might as well melt some butter and just drink it. Sorry.
No, it tastes better when there's shrimp or lobster involved. Okay, Thank you, sir.
Not a fan. Coach AJ, if we have a major collapse, any changes coming?
Absolutely not. 0.
There you go. I'd be tempted to agree with my
like, did I eat anything? I'm sitting here starving myself, Jules. Like, just for you. I literally am talked for 90 minutes and have drank 2 bottles of water. Like, give me a break, brother. Like, okay.
And here's the other thing too. Also, I mean, like, seriously, again. Do you see like big professional studios, the fancy mics and all that? We have made the premise all along. You're here for the content, not the production value, even though we've upped it a little bit, ever so slightly. Listen, two dudes talking football who have done this who have covered the Dolphins
50 years.
Exactly, 50 years combined.
Collectively.
So, just for that, I think tomorrow for the live post-game show, I'm going to have a keto meal.
5:15 tomorrow post-game is what we're saying.
Yeah, hold on. I'm going to take care of T here. Thank you, T. But
my last question.
Yeah, let me look at your question. See where we can find it. It's from T, and then we'll call it a day.
Yeah, everybody keeps saying joined. Why are they saying joined? I don't understand.
Oh, you missed handpick waving. Is this
please.
One here? You missed handpick waving. Okay, we'll keep looking for it if there's a question in here, T.
Okay, let me go.
You want to recognize that those? I made a super chat. You missed. Okay, sorry, T. No, that's not the one. I keep scrolling up here.
No. T. No. T. No. Okay, I can't find him.
I'm scrolling up. I'm up to one. No, this is.
Ask the question again, T.
Yeah, go ahead.
Make it simple.
Somebody was like, "Poop sounds mad." I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I'm not mad
at
all.
Absolutely. Let's sweep the Jets. Jets are the only team in the NFL I actually hate. But I think
why do you hate him?
Just long history of the rivalry.
There we go.
Did you find it?
Hate's too strong a word, but I don't like the Cowboys because they soak up too much oxygen for me. It's annoying. And I have Chiefs fatigue syndrome too. So that's another thing. There we go. T, can you envision a Rhino package including Claypool, Ingold, Brooks, Julian Hill, Cedric Wilson, Durham Smythe to help with injured talent and short yardage?
No. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I'm sure you're hoping for a more detailed answer than that. No.
Do you know Mike McDaniel? He likes speed.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, you got too many players on the field anyway, because that's 6 right there.
Yeah.
2 or 7, you have 5 offensive linemen. So that doesn't work right away.
Oh, actually, no, you're right. You're right.
6 players.
You're right.
Plus QB plus offensive line. So even if you were any sort of that combination, I doubt it. You know one thing the Dolphins I have never seen them use under McDaniel in short yardage situation, an extra offensive lineman. Have you ever seen them do that?
No, but at this point they don't have an extra. Well, actually, you can put Kendall Lamb out there.
There you go.
That actually might work.
Okay.
That's actually a good thought.
Okay, Omar, close it out like you do so well.
All right, everybody. We thank you for watching. We thank you for supporting. Please like, subscribe, rate, share, tell a friend. We will be here tomorrow for the post game at 5:15. Poupart has said. I will make sure that I'm on time and I won't eat just for Jewel. I'll starve myself because I'll only have breakfast and I won't eat anything else. Okay.
Pick out at that time.
And I don't eat their food. That food is horrible.
But you'll have pizza.
It's so cold too, but at that point I'm starving. But I will be on the WQM pregame show at 9:00. And please, if you haven't watched a podcast that we've done or listened to a podcast that we've done this week, whether it's Behind Enemy Lines or Friday's episode, go watch it. Go give it a play because brother needs some money. All right. We will see you tomorrow.
And keep visiting alldolphins.com.
Yes,
where we will have the info. If they downgrade any players to out today.
Yeah, 4:00 we should have some action.
Yep.
4:00 we should have some action and we'll be there to explain everything to you. All right, folks. We will see you tomorrow.